several weeks has been to, in series, examine and consider how it is that we prepare to encounter God, how it is that we prepare to receive Holy Communion, since we understand that we are called to receive Holy Communion frequently. But indeed, this gospel reading and the themes of today highlight for us that even to speak of this reality of preparation is to feed into a misunderstanding, is to miss the point. Christ does not call us to prepare to encounter. He calls us to encounter Him. He comes to us. He does not give us instructions for how to build ourselves up, how to prepare ourselves so that we may ascend to Him. He comes to us. He calls us to meet Him. And as we begin the fast, as we reflect on the words of the gospel, instructing us how to go about fasting, you see, we could take this opportunity to preach about fasting as part of our preparation for Holy Communion. But indeed, it misses the point. Fasting is our theme. But we must set aside this idea of preparing to receive Christ because we misunderstand it in our minds and in our hearts. I would urge you and beg you, consider the final word of the gospel. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Where the things that you value are, there your heart will be also. Where your priorities, where your attention, where your love is given, your heart will be also. Too many times we think of fasting as simply what we don't do. Yes? We think about Lent as the time when we don't eat meat, when we watch less television. We think about it in terms of the things we do not do. And indeed, usually we think of morality, of holiness, of righteousness in the same terms. To be righteous, we think, is to not sin, not lie, not cheat, not steal, not lust. This is not holiness. This is simply the absence of sin. In the same way, if we think of fasting as only not eating something, we miss the point. Let us consider the final sentence again. Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. It doesn't say where your treasure isn't. He doesn't say close your eyes, your mouth, your mind, your heart to the things of this world and you will have treasure in heaven. It says where your treasure is, your heart will be. As we enter into this fast, we are called not only to turn away from the things of this world. That is incidental. That is automatic. We are called to turn towards Christ. Bear with me a moment, and we will do a image to reflect on what this means. If Christ is there, and the world is there, and we spend our time looking at the world, Our conventional understanding of fasting says I should close my eyes if I want to draw closer to Christ. So I close my eyes. So now I can't see the world. Am I suddenly closer to Christ? Am I drawing near to Him? Obviously not. But if I turn my back on the things of the world, if I cast my eyes towards the Lord, well, then I cannot see the things of the world. I have no room for the things of the world. This is the manner of our fasting. This is the manner of our preparation. It is not enough simply to say, I am going to avoid the bad things of this world. Wonderful, great. We'll be healthier. Maybe. Consider as well the metaphor of a diet. I assume most of us over the age of 30 have tried to keep to a diet. And if we think of a diet in terms, again, of things we aren't going to eat, no burgers, no fries, no chips, no sugar, we find very quickly that the world is full of things we're not allowed to have. A successful diet is one that is proscriptive, not that is rather that is prescriptive, not proscriptive, that tells us what we should eat, not what we should not. This is what it means to follow Christ. To follow Christ. Not simply to stop following other leaders, other values, other pleasures, other desires. We must actually follow Christ. This is what Lent is for. 6 weeks in which we take stock of ourselves, of our priorities, of our mind, our heart, our lives, our time. Consider where we have been misplacing our treasure. And place our love, our value, our desire, our longing instead on the Lord and the good things that come from Him alone. It is always a good question, how should we fast? What discipline should we keep? They are good and necessary questions to consider. The priest is here if you have questions, if you would like to discuss what your rules should be for this Lent. But before you ask the question, remember, the fast is not about what we set aside. It is about what we receive. It is not about what we close our eyes to. It is about who we open our eyes to. And as I am the only one right now with my back to the Lord, let us turn, let us all stand, and let us approach the King of Glory.